Kampala City Traders Association Kasita is refuting reports by the Ministry of Finance that they have agreed to call off the traders' strike, and that has brought us here over several policies, including the solution IFRIS. While the ministry says they held a meeting with all stakeholders and agreed to call off the strike, Kasita chairperson Thaddeus Musoke says nothing substantial was agreed to the said meeting, and the demonstration, at least as of now, still stands.
Traders have rejected a statement by the Minister for Finance that they agreed to call off the strike, saying there was no such agreement reached. The chairperson Kasita Thaddeus Musoke, while acknowledging the said meeting, says nothing substantial was agreed upon.
The resolutions which were made were rejected by the traders.
In a meeting attended by the State Minister for Kampala, the RCC, traders and other leaders, traders unanimously agreed to keep their shops closed until they meet President Museveni.
Meeting, the way it has ended, you find that it's like the traders have rejected reopening of the shops, though there are some who are suggesting, but basing on the democratic way. The majority have refused to open their shops. So we appeal to the government. Let them harmonize these challenges at ease with urgency, and even let the president try to intervene to find possible solutions.
Ramson has been on this story. Ramson, it is day 2 of the strike. What more do we know?
You see, IFRIS is not unique to only downtown traders. In places like pharmacies, supermarkets, and some restaurants, the system is already being used. Now, as traders plan to meet President Yoweri Museveni, the question is whether they want to ask him to excuse them from IFRIS and leave it on others, or scrap IFRIS altogether, and where this leaves URA, a body that is tasked to collect revenue that is meant to facilitate the national budget.
His Excellency the President, the traders requested to meet them, and he has accepted. So he's going to meet them the day after tomorrow on Friday 19th from 10 o'clock at State House Entebbe. So the requirement is simple. They have to go and do a COVID test, and now I've tasked them to bring their list because we need around 100 people. I don't want again to take a few who are going to distort the President's message. I want the President's message to come out clearly and verbatim to the people. That's why we need more to come. He has accepted to meet a minimum of 100. So we can as well, they can take COVID tests as many as they can. At least we can get between 100 and 200. He's willing to meet them and we discuss.
There are concerns coming in from one of the traders' association that at the moment continues to be unidentified, and this association claims and alleges that government is favoring foreign investors over local investors. However, this is what the head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Kano Idris Nakarima, had to say after these accusations came to light.
The ongoing strike is unfortunate to me, because in my task as the head of State House Investors Protection Unit, together with other government officers in line with trade and investment, we have been engaging with our local investors. I should say even at all levels, given that we have moved to them, they have also come to us. We at the State House Investors Unit have held about 13 meetings with local investors. In particular, Kasita leadership, FUTA, the Federation of Uganda Traders Association, the ACEDAs, the leadership of Uganda Chamber of Commerce by that brought together all their regional and district leaders. Of course, they were led by their president, Mrs. Olive Chigongo. With Kasita, I am in constant touch, even now when they are still on strike. IFRIS it shouldn't be a big problem if the traders understand its importance. I think for me, where I find some point to consider is in the sensitization, continued sensitization. There's need for the URA officials to continue sensitizing the traders about the importance of IFRIS.
But just how much impact has this traders' strike had on the entire ecosystem of trade? Now, joining me tonight is Robert Suna, who is an independent consultant on tax, trade and investment. Many thanks for joining us this evening. Let's just begin there, because we understand the trade downtown Kampala and other areas where the strike has been has affected not just the traders themselves, but other people who are involved in trade with these traders. So could you briefly break it down for us? How much impact this strike has created?
Thank you, Kanari, for having me on the show. Yeah, when we are discussing the impact the strike may have on the entire ecosystem, people tend to overemphasize the revenue impact, and they forget that the strike has a multiplier effect across all other sectors. These traders have what to eat every day, so you have the catering industry in the downtown. These traders have transporters, so we expect an impact on the logistics and transport sector. If these traders do not move from their home areas to town, even the taxis that are operating, ferrying those people on a daily basis will also have that impact. We have another component of offices that may not necessarily be shops, but facilitating those traders to carry on daily business, accountants, banks within the center. So it is likely to impact much more than the revenue component.
Okay, looking at that ripple effect, do you think that we're going to very soon see these other people who are also affected in different sectors join in to demand that government takes action? Because if government doesn't take action to resolve the issues of the traders, it means that these other sectors will also keep losing money.
Exactly. So, like I said, if you cause industrial action, it creates a ripple effect across board. So, I think the earlier government comes to terms with these traders, they're better for other actors, so that the entire economy can come to play. Because even the medium term, we would see some people lose their jobs if this strike is to continue. And lastly, we know that we are in the last quarter of the financial year. This is the quarter where the Uganda Revenue Authority collects much of its taxes to be able to hit the target. So there is a likely impact on the revenue arrangement. We may face a deficit by the end of June. So the earlier we come to a common solution, a win-win solution for both the traders and government, the better.
Do you see, in your own opinion, government, especially on the side of Uganda Revenue Authority, realizing how much they are losing and being able to at least step back on some of course, the harsh enforcements they have on these traders? Do you see that happening?
Yes, it is likely to happen because, I mean, our economy is a hand-to-mouth economy, Canary. What we collect is what we eat. In other words, what we collect is what we spend. So if URA spends, for instance, takes a whole week or two without collecting revenue, and you want to have the last quarter releases for the financial year, we are likely to see a deficit for the government expenditure side. So I'm hopeful that the government will take action.
Many thanks for speaking to us. Robert Suna is an independent consultant on tax, trade and investment.
Parliament has kicked off the second phase of the rationalization process that will see several entities merge, others wound up, while some will be downsized. Now, this process was pushed to today due to lack of quorum on Tuesday. During today's sitting, it did come to light that some government employees will lose jobs and government will save on expenditures of the merged entities. Some of the affected entities include Uganda Wildlife Education Center, Uganda Wildlife Authority and Uganda Export Promotion Board, among others.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say under control nay.
Parliament has revoked the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Centre Act 2015 to pave way for the merger of WEC with UA. The House also amended UA Act 2019 to confer on the authority additional functions following the merger with WEC. According to the report, the merger of the two agencies will see 64 staff lose their jobs, while 1.3 billion shillings will be paid as terminal benefits to the affected staff. The merger will see government save 15.1 billion shillings in 2024-2025 financial year, while the savings will increase further to 16.5 billion shillings in the financial year 2025-2026. MPs also repealed the Uganda Export Promotions Act and passed the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024 to merge the Export Promotions Board and Uganda Free Zones Authority into an entity called the Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority. This will be under the supervision of the ministry responsible for trade, in a move that will see government save 6.5 billion shillings, while 7 staff are likely to lose their jobs in this merger.
This is a clear indication that there is poor governance in this institution.
The House later passed the bill that saw the phasing out of the National Meteorological Authority and its services placed under the Ministry of Water and Environment.
Shamim has been for us on this story. Shamim, I gather that this is not an exhaustive list. So what more entities are likely to fall under this particular plight?
Many entities are still lined up for rationalization, and by close of business today, Parliament was yet to debate a report on National Forestry Authority merging. But we know that government needs about 70 billion shillings to be able to compensate those that will be left out of job. But it has been questionable whether actually government has an assessment of the kind of employment it could create in this process to save £1 trillion.
Now, Parliament, it is the 11th Parliament, has repealed some of the government bills that seek to rationalize the number of government agencies. The bills that have been processed by the Wednesday parliamentary sitting chaired by the Speaker, Anita Nitamong, include the following: the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024, the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Centre Act Repeal Bill 2024, the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024, the Uganda Export Promotion Board Act Repeal 2024, the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024, the Uganda National Meteorological Authority. That is a tongue twister, I can tell you. Uganda National Meteorological Authority Amendment Bill 2024. Don't bite your tongue at home, leave that word alone. The National Forestry and Tree Planting Amendment Bill 2024, the Uganda National Commission for UNESCO Amendment Bill 2024 as well. Well, I'm not alone. Mr. Mugume is around. Mr. Mugume, time